Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Taking Your Tech Idea to Market. We're so grateful you could join us today. And my name is Carrie Ramsey. I'm the project manager for the WECAN project, which is led by Queen's University and is funded by FedDev Ontario. So today we're so thrilled to have Feiran Zhou here. She is going to be talking to us about a topic I think that is on the minds of a lot of women entrepreneurs who are interested in tech. And that is, how do you move your idea forward? So many times there are obstacles and barriers to taking your tech idea to the next level. And so today's workshop is meant to be definitely interactive. Feiran is going to share some information with us. She has a slide deck, but also we want to open this up for some group coaching as well. So do have your questions ready. This is the perfect small group scenario where you're able to ask questions and to have them answered. And we've got the expert in the room with us today. So I know there aren't a great many of us, but if you do want to take a moment to put your business name in the chat, if you'd like, let us know where you're connecting from. And I'm sure we'll get to know you as the session goes on as well. And we do have quite a few more we're expecting to join us today. While you're dropping a note into the chat about where you're connecting from, I'll just mention that I'm connecting from Belleville, Ontario today. And this is the traditional territory of the Huron, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. And as I say many times, it is such an honor and a privilege to live, work, and play here on the banks of the Moira River in a region which has been cared for and cultivated for generations by our First Nations peoples. And so we're so grateful to acknowledge today that is where we are living here on Turtle Island, which we all share as well if you are in the North American area. So welcome to everyone. Feiran, I would love to kick it over to you as I continue to let folks in from the waiting room. Welcome to everyone, and I'm looking forward to learning about taking your tech idea to market along with you all.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Feiran Zhou, and I'm the Business Development and Commercialization Manager from OCE. Really thanks Queen's University, the WECAN program, to have me here today. And thank you, Carrie, for setting everything up. And thank you all for taking the next hour to join us today to learn more about what OCE's resource is about and how we can support you on your entrepreneurship journey along the way. So thank you, everyone. When Carrie mentioned to me, hey, you know what, OCE is doing a lot of interesting projects across the province. Can we just have a session on helping our women entrepreneur to learn more, see, what type of resource OCE has, how we can support them by using these resources and OCE's network to support these tech entrepreneurs moving their business step by step. That's why I'm thinking, why don't we have an hour session today? So what we can do is I can give everyone more like a high level overview about the organization, because I know maybe some of you you don't know about OCE and you don't know about what type of network and programs we have. So in the next an hour, I will go through all the details. I will go through all the programs that OCE has designed. Then we can always chat and then see, for your business idea, which one could be a potential fit. And as a woman as well, I will always support our Ghost Power to moving forward on your business. So everyone can see my slide, okay? Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna minimize this video window. So about OCE, some people might hear about OCE from our full name, Ontario Centers of Excellence. So basically, we are a innovation agency at the provincial level. We're known for profits. So basically, the program that we've designed mainly to support the entrepreneurs, our partners actually including entrepreneurs from the industry side, our academia institution partners, our government partners, utilize all the resources that we have, design different programs to provide all the support to the small medium enterprise. So basically, beside these programs, the strong provincial pan-provincial network is another really valuable resource for the company that we work for. A lot of them, by how to say, like connecting with our partners, which create a lot of potential partnership business opportunity for them. So mainly like the objective for the organization or the goal behind all these programs that we've designed is how we can power the industry leadership in the province, how we can make Ontario a more competitive province across the country, across the world, tracking more investment, tracking more talent to the province. Then also in that way, we are creating lots of job opportunities and also economic impact as well. So as I mentioned, so OC's footprints are basically across the whole province. Just use example of our own team. We're on the business development and commercialization team. Myself actually is based in the Ottawa office. Across the province, we have about 16 business development and commercialization manager like myself. They're actually spread everywhere. So headquarter office is in Toronto. So we have about 4 or 5 business development manager. They cover the GTA area. Then we also have colleagues based in Sudbury looking after Northern Ontario. Similar idea, we also have a couple of other colleagues based in the South and West area, so which all the way to Niagara Falls region to Windsor region. So in this way, like all the boots on the ground across the province can provide you a pretty comprehensive network. Like for example, like all the college and university across the province in different cities, our network has been working very closely with all of them. And Queen's University is one of the great partners, have been working for a long time. So in that way, the project we are able to support through different varieties of our programs, going to all these type of which we did a calculation. It's about 160 communities across the province in the last 5 years. So a lot of people say, hey, then what type of programs that OCE has? So here is a diagram shows at the moment, there are 6 programs on the list that is available to our partners, either from the company side or academia side to apply for. So these programs actually, how to say, like it's always changing because it really based on the initiative from the provincial, from our province. What Ontario is aiming for. So at the moment, as you can see, a lot of programs that we've designed is very focusing on tech, on technology, advanced technology, something disruptive, something innovative. So from the name of these programs, I always explain this diagram of the program to people in 3 categories. So when you look at the 6 programs, 5 of the programs actually are non-repayable grants program. And 1 program on the other side, is an investment program. And these programs, usually, if you look at from the left side, Autonomous Vehicle Innovation Network, the AVIN program, Encore 5G program, IBM Innovation Incubator Project, Next Generation Network Program. I usually like to categorize these 4 together. Because these 4, they're all falling into our advanced technology program umbrella. So there's some similarity between among the 4. Then on the right side, there's the market readiness is the only one investment program we currently have, which is different from the rest of the 5. Then the very right one, the Voucher for Innovation and Productivity, the VIP program. This is also a grants program, but which is a little bit different from the 4 advanced technology program I mentioned earlier, which in the next few slides, I will explain to you in the details. So, so that you can see, like from the big picture, the program is kind of across different sectors. Some of them are towards, how to say, like academia, industry collaboration, but some of them are very sector focused for supporting different type of initiatives. So here is the 4 that I mentioned earlier that usually we will categorize and explain together. It's all under our Advanced Technology Platform, ATP program umbrella. So from the name, you can see Encore 5G, it's about the 5G network. This is about connectivity. This is about the whole wireless network technology. Next one, next generation network. This is mainly about cloud computing, about the network, the next generation of the cloud computing network we're going to use. Autonomous Vehicle Innovation Network, AVIN program. To be honest, this program, the name is a little bit misleading. People think it's only about autonomous vehicle. Actually, it's not. It's more about the connected network. It's more about the mobility for the province. So autonomous vehicle is one of actually the parts. Then the last one is Innovation Incubator Initiative, IBM i3. It's always the acronym for this program. This program actually, from the name, as you can see, IBM is our partner on this specific program. And what we are supporting is on helping the company in the province to adopting artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytic related solution and technology. So these are four. The similarity about the four programs that we just mentioned, firstly, the applicant are always the small medium enterprise. So which means they're always from the company side. It's not from academia side. And these company, they all need some type of R&D support, like research development on their product development, process improvement, which falling into either one of the buckets. Also for the four program, it's not just about financial incentive support. It's also about technology support. So basically for each of the program, if your company is applying for, you will get both support from two sides. One side, you get on a technology testbed, a platform, a infrastructure to work on a lot of stuff related to your software design, your hardware design. Then on the other side, then OCE has some financial incentive to support you, to offload your development cost when you carry these projects through one of the program buckets. So we always have these partnership across the province. Some of the platform, they also have this physical infrastructure set up, which we are trying to make it across the province. That's why Ottawa, Toronto, and Kitchener-Waterloo, we have the three hubs to support us on the facility. That's including Invest Ottawa, Mars in downtown Toronto, and Communitech in Kitchener-Waterloo. So giving you a pan-provincial network of these infrastructure to work with. Then move on to the Market Readiness Co-Investment Fund. This is basically the one out of the 6 programs, which is the only one that actually quite different from the grants program. So this is actually an investment program. This program is mainly for a company in the early stage when they are opening up their pre-seed or seed round funding, then they can bring the deal to OCE. For example, company raising for $500,000 pre-seed rounds, and they've got a few investors on board. This time, actually, company can bring it to OCE Market Readiness Investment Group, say, hey, are you interested in this sector? Then OCE have 2 levels. One is 125K, and the other is 250K. To look into, which level this company, this portfolio is suitable for. Then we will do our due diligence process, application process, to see if we are interested in investing into this company to join that current round. The criteria will be the company has to be academia affiliated. So what does that mean? For example, like Queen's University has their own accelerator programs. If your company is incubated from Queen's accelerator program, you're definitely an eligible company to apply for. Then we just need to look at your business stage to see, if you're at the right time for which level of the investment we have. Or maybe, your company is coming out from university. It's a spin out from university. We have a lot of cases like Queen's University has that type of academia IP want to be commercialized. Same as U of T has a lot of spin out company as well. Then these are also eligible companies that can be can allow to apply for the Market Readiness Co-Investment Fund. So this investment fund actually probably is one of the most active public investors in the province. Along with that, you might also heard about Mars IAF. That is another very popular programs that a lot of companies will look into. It's just like we are focusing on different stage. OCE's market readiness, usually the amount is only 2 level, 125 and 250, versus, you know, other programs like Mars IAF, they can go larger amounts. It could reach all the way to 500,000 or even like more than that. For the portfolio companies that we have invested or we're interested in investing, actually it's across all technology sectors. Like these days, because of the pandemic we're facing, like in the recent time, we've been investing quite a bit of tech, medical technology. But that doesn't mean like other technology we're not interested. We're always interested in any innovative technology as long as we see it's a good fit, as long as our market readiness team find, you know, it's a high potential kinetic companies in the province in the right stage, then we are always happy to support. The last but not least one, so this is called Voucher of Innovation and Productivity, the VIP program. Actually, among the 6 programs, this is the oldest program OC has been having since the establishment, like about 35 years ago. So this program actually is a very a unique way to encourage the collaboration between academia and industry. Because a lot of SMEs in the province, they don't have, how to say, like enough in-house capability on solving all the R&D challenges on their commercialization journey of the product. So, but they maybe they find, or maybe they don't realize there's a lot of expertise sitting on the other side, which is in the academia institution. There's a lot of expertise from our researchers. Also, there's a lot of, how to say, like very innovative, high power facilities available, the lab resource available in the academia institution, in the university and colleges, which this program is encouraging SME to leverage the academia resource to work on their R&D project. So the objective basically is they can overcome and resolve their R&D challenge. Then they can move forward to commercialize their products successfully. It's kind of like accelerator the go-to-market time by leveraging the academia resource. So basically, for the VIP program, we can support 50% up to 75% of the R&D development project costs. And then the company will have a chance to work closely with the researcher and the team at the university or colleges across the province on this specific R&D project. But there is a little bit basic eligibility requirement because this is usually it's a very technical scientific R&D challenge we're facing by leveraging the program. So the company need to have some basic establishment. So from the program itself at the moment, we require company at least to be 2 years old. At least you have about like 5 full-time employees. So in that way, you have some basic commercialization capability, can work with the university or college together to on this project. So eventually, we hope, you know, the project can have a successful outcome and your product or technology solution can be successfully going to the market to be commercialized. So yeah, so basically that are 6 programs that OCE currently have. So here is my email address. Just feel free to email me or connect me with on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to have some offline individual discussion with you and learn more about your business, because every business, the character of the business, the stage of the business are different. So I can just based on the experience or from our team's experience, we can help you to identify, you know, if OCE's programs is the right one for you at the current stage, or maybe it's our partners program could be a better leverage for your current challenge or the current stage on your roadmap. Or we can see on the network side, if we can connect you with some anchor firms, for example, to help you open some door, open some conversation. we're always happy to learn more about your business. So now I'm gonna quickly stop sharing my slides because I just want to show everyone on the web page here on the OCE website. Because for this website, we have actually a specific page on the OCE website called Project. This is also one of the page I recommend first-time clients to learn before they think about OCE's program. Because from this page, you're able to see, sorry, my screen is just a little bit slow. You're able to see some past project case studies in OCE's portfolio across different programs. And you're able to see like different sectors, what kind of project we have done. And then scroll down, there's some charts giving you some high level data that you can learn about what type of programs and what type of project we have done. And then there's a button for all projects, which you can see some company examples, how much funding they applied it through which program. It's just kind of a good example in front of you to know more about, what kind of, is a similar idea compared with this type of program that OCE funded in the past, which usually I find or I learn from the company I work with that is helpful.
Feiran, are you sharing that screen right now? That website?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
That's okay. That's all right. Maybe pop it up. It's fine.
Okay, give me 1 second. I think it's my mistake.
No worries. There
Here
it comes.
we go.
Something's happening. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So if you go to OCE website, there's a tab called projects. Just go to the project, which you are able to say geographically what type of projects happening in where of the province. Then moving down, you're able to see the sectors. And then click on the all projects, which giving you more information about these projects, some high level information, which program and how much funding they applied it for. So it just, usually I find this is a very good case study information. Company are willing to learn more before they jump in any programs that they think they fit. So, and always, have a discussion with our team, like myself. We can also give you some idea about if your program, when it will be for your project or for your company stage, when will be the best time to apply for which program, stuff like that.
Okay. So that's really helpful to know that you can actually enter into certain programs, and then as your business has been in operation for longer, you probably are eligible for other programs as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So a company, actually, we supported them through the very young age, like from the campus linked accelerator. Then moving forward, helping them to apply for some grants program. Then they keep growing to the right stage. They started to raise investment funds. Then our market readiness can play a role in that stage. Then moving forward, maybe our funds is too small. Then we can pass it to our partners. Then they can continue to grow by leveraging other partners program as well.
Great. Someone did send me a question here, Feiran, which is how long do the full-time employees have to be on board? I think that's in reference to your last example, perhaps at the investment stage.
To be honest, like there's no say hard number. Say we have to have the full-time employee for at least for a year or something. Because this is basically just show company have enough team resource or capability to carry the project forward with the university professor together. Because just think about if you only have 2 people or if you only have 1 person, they're going to be concerned like if we give the funding to your project, there's not going to be enough resource at your team to work with the university or college together on the whole 6 months or 12 months duration. So that's basically why we set up this criteria. We require some full-time employees to be on board with the team. But to be honest, like it's really based on which program you're thinking about. Some other programs might not have that specific eligibility requirement, but just keep in mind, whatever kind of public program that you are thinking about to apply for these days in the marketplace, they're always looking at your team resource capability. because whoever want to fund your or invest your company or project, they always hoping, expecting some successful outcomes. So that will always increase your high successful rates. So I never advise my client to jump into any of the program too early. Wait until they have some establishment, so they can prove, hey, we can do this. We can do this together, or we can have a successful ROI from your investment to our company or project.
So a number of the clients that are on the call right now, or companies that are on the call, aren't connected to universities directly. So do you have, I know that some of them do, but do you have any words of advice for those who do not have academic ties? Is there a different path? Is there any other different advice you would suggest, or?
So how to say, I think it really depends on the sector the company are in, or which program you're thinking about to applying for. The academia affiliation, that specific requirement is only for the market readiness investment programs. But if you are interested in the other grants program on our list, some of them, to be honest, most of them, we don't have that specific requirement. You need to have academia affiliation. Only that investment program which have that, because we're trying to differentiate, giving, differentiate the market readiness program compared with other programs in the marketplace, because otherwise entrepreneurs, they're very confused about which program they should apply for at what time. So for example, like the advanced technology grants program, your company doesn't really need to have academia tie. And 90% of the companies I work with, they have nothing to do with academia. They just trying to leverage the technology resource and then financial incentive programs to help them to achieve some R&D goals for the product.
Great. I think that that's helpful for those who aren't affiliated. So you don't think it's just you have to have some affiliation.
Yeah.
That
Sorry
sounds
for the
like
confusion.
90% of the time you probably don't. So that's good news.
Exactly.
I have a couple other thoughts, but I want to open it up to the group, because because it's going to be nice and intimate like this. This is your chance to say, ask a question you might think sounds silly. This is the place to do it. And there are no crazy questions. So you can explain, this is my business. How does what you're talking about, apply? This is the chance. This is the room to do it in. So does anybody want to go first?
Yeah, feel free to raise your hands.
Go ahead, Morgan.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Yeah, I just had a quick question. I have more pondering, so I'll probably come back to more of them in a moment. But for the last program that you mentioned about the market readiness, I know, so the one Queen's University one that's scrolled up there is my research supervisor, and some of my colleagues are working on that project. And I know in that one is there, us as, I'm a PhD student, I'm in my lab right now. Us as partnered, the research is partnered with that company, which is the industry portion. But can those programs be done with because that can't be done with a startup that you would hope to become a company? There would have to be a different program for that. So I assume that market readiness has to be a industry, but would that industry then take over the technology once it's ready to be commercialized? I was just a little confused on the.
Yeah, so basically, I'm thinking your question is more about the stage of the business when they're ready for the market readiness program. Right. So usually, firstly, the company has already been spun out from the academic sector, or if you graduated from the accelerator program, your company has already been incorporated for a while. So that's kind of the basic thing on the incorporation side of the company. So it has to be a company that you registered. At the same time, you have tractions already, which means, your MVP is kind of, how to say, sometimes we also consider pre-revenue company as well, but most of the case, you have to have some basic tractions in the market. You might have some pilot users already, or some company, when they apply for, they already have some paying customer as well. But your total investment haven't raised to over $1 million Canadian dollar yet. Then you're kind of still in the early stage, which is kind of pre-seed or seed rounds stage. You're looking for more investor to support you. So then maybe this is the time that you can think about which type of public and private investment fund that you can reach out. Usually you're going to start to get in touch with the public fund program like ours, or you're going to start to pitch to angel investors across the province. Then moving forward for the later stage, when you grow and grow, you're going to start to talk to VC, the venture capital firms, because they usually more in the mature stage of the business to invest compared with the early stage fund. So that's kind of the difference for different stage of the company.
Cool. Nice to see you in your lab, Morgan.
So Morgan, just wondering what type of business you're working on at the moment.
Sure. So it's still very early stage, but it's based on a technology that I've developed and patented in the lab, and it's a filtration technology for oil water separation. So we're looking at, I think you were at the WINGS program. I had pitched at the WINGS program. Yes. Okay. Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm at that stage right now where we've got something working in the lab. And done a lot of research. It's from market research. It's looking promising, but I need that in between to get the pilot started and to actually see if the idea is plausible on a larger scale. So I'm kind of in that trying to figure out what's the best next step to get the investment and the knowledge to actually get the pilot started. So kind of
cool. Yeah, happy to discuss offline if you need more information.
Feiran, Harry has a question about working with OCE when you're pre-revenue. Any suggestions, any hints and tips for that if someone is pre-revenue? What's the best way to start?
Yeah, firstly, don't be afraid if you're pre-revenue. That's how everybody started. It's from pre-revenue to post-revenue. I think the first thing, usually when I work with a company in the early stage, you need to determine your R&D, your product roadmap. Then along the way, collect and get familiar with the R&D landscape of different programs in the market, because these are the resources available there, which you don't need to spend your own money, but can support your product and technology development. So these programs will be the first type of resource should be on your mind, how you can take advantage at the same time, simultaneously about different of them. So for example, OC programs could be one of them. You might heard of IRAP program, it's another one. Or like MyTax programs, they're also supporting some early stage company on R&D. So these organizations, the mandate has been set up is always supporting companies to grow. So we're all non-for-profit, we're all kind of public funds, public funded programs. So we can support a lot of time on the pre-revenue companies. To be honest, maybe if you ask me these days, half of the companies I work with, probably they're still pre-revenue. But they need very big support on moving the R&D to official in the market to be commercialized. So yeah, come back to your question for pre-revenue company. Don't be rushed to start to talk to investors, because investor might feel like you're too early. Focus on your R&D, focus on your product, because this is actually the gold you have, going to attract more investors, because investors, they always looking for good potential companies or product to invest for. As long as you have a very solid technology, have a great problem in the market that you can solve by your innovative solution, then investment traction will come eventually.
Good question, and I'm sure on other people's minds, and we can help spread this word as well. Good. Any other questions? Oh, I'm going to admit someone else to the room. Go ahead, Penny.
I just have a question about the like the IBM programs. I'm just trying to think where, if there's even any possibility there's anything there for me. I've got a small company and I'm trying to get into automation and learn, helping businesses build their own systems in-house using the newer low-code and no-code tools that are available. But I don't know whether that's scalable really, because it's not proprietary software. And so I don't even know if there's any place
yeah, so to answer your question, Penny, maybe I can say from two different angles. Firstly, for how to say, like for majority of the company we work with, they're product company, so they're technology company. So usually they have either a patent of their software or hardware product, or it's application, something that really tackle a real problem of the market. But some company, they might start it from a service company, but eventually they have their own product developed and they want to move to an IP related business so they can start to sell products. So majority of our program mainly supporting on that piece of technology development. So that's one angle. The other angle is from this IBM i3 program itself. The setup behind this program is we partner with IBM together. So OCE can provide all these advisory plus incentive financial support. Then IBM on the other side will provide technology infrastructure support. So put them together, giving entrepreneur company or kind of comprehensive way. So basically they can get free access to IBM's cloud, including their WASM system, to do anything related to data analytic, because these days data is the power. So a lot of company, they're trying to build these machine learning data analytic functionality in their platform. They may host their data on AWS or Google Cloud, different cloud platform. But actually IBM already have this very powerful data analytic infrastructure there, which why you need to create your own or pay, extra money to work on? Why don't you through the program, which you can leverage the existing IBM system to work on anything you need. So in that way, usually company gets some free cloud credits. They get engineering support from the IBM team. Then they can just get into the IBM cloud and WASM system to do anything related to data analytic. Then usually in that way, they also get some financial support from OCE to offset their dev team development cost. That's how the program has been designed. Some company, which they tell us, another valuable piece of the program, and they were able to get connected with IBM. They get started to have some conversation with an IBM internal team, which you never know because IBM is a large multi-billion company, and it might open some potential supply chain door for you through their network. So that's kind of another piece that usually company find it's very valuable through these program partnership. Yeah, so similar, maybe just a quick follow-up comment. So similar setup as our Encore 5G program. Similar idea, we also have our technology partner, which is Ericsson, Ciena, these large multi-billion incorporations from the private sectors. The way we set up is also financial support, technology support. Then company get a chance to access the testbed that we have provided for them. Then also get connected with the company engineering team to get a lot of conversations there, because where they can, if not through these programs, where they can find a good connection with these large companies, it might be difficult. So we're trying to create this type of opportunity for SMEs in the province.
That's great. I think what you guys do is amazing, just in connecting people that have great ideas with the people who can help them get there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's basically the objective we're really trying to do, because for a lot of early stage companies, I think three type of areas is really they need help. They need help. One is capital. They need money to get stuff done. They need a channel, which is these business partnership for go-to-market. Then come up the third one, which is the talent. They need people to help them to scale, to grow the business together. So we're trying to, from the three areas here, see what kind of resource we can put together, at least for Ontario entrepreneurs.
Great, thank you.
No problem, Penny.
Thanks, Feiran. And just on that note, as you were talking about IP and patents, et cetera, and those early legal hurdles as well. Some of you in the room know this already, but we do provide free legal advice, free IP and patent support through the WECAN projects. So for any of our clients who are registered with WECAN, and of course it's free to register, we do have an incredible team at Queen's that helps support and get our women entrepreneurs past those early legal questions that sometimes can just hold you up for months, you know, just because you're not sure how to address it. Best idea is to talk to someone who knows and has the solutions. And in this case, it's great because you can literally save thousands of dollars in legal consultations just to get things moving at the beginning. And that's what OC is about as well. Just, you know, getting things going so that you can move the business idea forward, whatever it is, and not be stopped or held back any longer. That's the vision.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, just come back to Harry's earlier question, you know, on pre-revenue, where I can start it. Talk to somebody like Carrie, like the WECAN program, started the conversation somewhere, because partners, we work very closely with each other. Then Carrie and the program, they might, you know, let me know, say, hey, this company, they're doing this and that. I think OCE's resource might helpful. Then we have the chat. Then maybe I think, hey, you should talk to IRAP. I think IRAP somebody have some programs or some technology support you can also leverage. So this is how, you know, the partners in the ecosystem, how we work together with the companies. You guys are very, to be honest, like I'm really admiring on any entrepreneurs. You're very brave and started on your start from scratch on your business. So so the ecosystem are really trying to get the support together in your hands to help you move along. So WECAN program is especially for the women entrepreneurs. I think this is really at the right time. We're fully support to get some Ghost Power going in the province.
And I should mention, we also have Startup Runway if you're not a woman. So it's Queen's definitely caters to everyone. So there are other programs, but yeah, excellent. Any other questions for Feiran? And you want to ask a what if question, or how does this affect my particular business? This is a good time. While you think about it for a moment, Feiran, is there an example of a success story that you can offer? Just like I know that you had shown on the website that there's a lot of different examples. Is there one that comes to mind that you can kind of put a face with a program sort of to humanize that for us?
Yeah, so although myself is based in Kingston, but I've been working with quite a bit entrepreneurs or small medium enterprise in the Kingston region or the kind of Eastern Ontario region, like Belleville itself, Quinte area, Prince Edward County. So actually in Kingston itself, if you're based there, you can start to talk with a few companies that very well known in this region that also has been funded through OCE in the past. King's Distributed System is one of the company that we work very closely with. They're in the cloud computing space. JIC Design, they're in the software space. They're working for education sectors. We also work with Mero Technology. I think this is also another Queen's Accelerator Program graduated company. Although Mero has already been moving the team to Toronto, but they have well connected in the Kingston region. That's another type of software, hardware combined IoT type of business, supporting property management in that space. What else? We also work with Meta Innovation. Meta Innovation actually is a woman funded company. They were graduated from the Queen's Accelerator Program as well. So that company, the founder is a scientist. She is graduated from a PhD program in the geoscience. They have created a whole web application simulation platform, especially for providing training type of support to oil and gas industry. So these are just, you know, as you can see, across different sectors, they're doing all different things, but they always have a piece of, you know, technology or something that can really tackling a real problem of the market. These usually it's a good fit for any type for OC's program. Maybe, you know, we can not just one program can fit in, like Meta Innovation was able to leverage 2 programs under our on our list. Same as King's Distributed, they were able to leverage 3 programs under our list. So it really depends on their priority list, what they're trying to achieve along the technology development roadmap. Then we can help the company to determine which program you should go for first, or if this is the right time to go for that program. So we can always have some more detailed discussion, because each company's situation, they're very different.
Felicia is asking if you can think of any examples in the education sector at all, any education tech or anything like that that comes to
like recently I was working with a company, not really in the Kingston area. Actually, they're in the Waterloo and Ottawa space. The company is in the VR AR space. The technology they have provided is mainly targeting public and private education institutions, mainly using VR AR technology to help the STEAM programs. So mainly because the AR VR, this is basically, I think it's going to be the future. More and more technology going to be adopted, especially, you know, after pandemic, the adoption of technology in the education sector are going to be more and more. It's just going to keep growing. So this company, their AR VR technology development for the education sector really fit into 2 programs on our list. One side is the 5G program, because it's AR VR. Latency issue, bandwidth issue is always something they're facing. So the 5G testbed we are providing, and the whole engineering support from Ericsson, Ciena, these anchor firms we partner with, giving the company some very good support on the technology piece. Then same time, we were able to leverage in the VIP program to helping them to partner with Carleton University to do more development and leverage some using their lab space to create more pilot projects at the university itself. So these are type of the example, as you can see, education sector, but also has a tech piece involved, which leverage not just one program, again, under OCE's plate. So that's all also actually come to another question that I always being asked before from entrepreneurs. So how many programs I can apply for OCE, or is there a limitation for me? To be honest, we're not saying, hey, you can only apply 1, you can only apply 2. It's really determined by the company itself. Do you have enough bandwidth? Do you have enough cash flow to carry these multiple projects? If you can only do 1, then just do 1. Don't carry like 2 or 3, because it's gonna affect your outcomes eventually of your result of the project. And plus, most of the public grants program these days in the market, they're matching programs. They always require like 25%, 50% cash matching from the company. So that always requires company has certain cash in capability to match for these programs. Because it's not saying, hey, public funds gonna 100% cover your project. It's not gonna work like that. Majority of the program is going to be, you're going to see 1-to-1 matching. So we put $1, company always need to put $1. In that way, the project will have $2 to work with for the development work. So that's kind of the situation. I always ask company, you need to determine yourself how many people you have, how much additional cash that you can afford to carry 1 or 2 programs, or maybe we can design together. Let's do this program for 4 months. Then once it's finished, if we have successful outcome, we can move to another program for the next 6 months, stuff like that. It gives you a more reasonable step-by-step approach.
Excellent. Any other questions from the group? I'm sure some of you will be following up with Feiran to ask some offline questions, and that is to be expected. Feiran, maybe you could drop your email one more time into the chat, even though I know it was on your slide earlier. Trish, did you have a question? Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, I don't have a question. I just have a comment that it's been very useful. My company is a private charter platform, but we didn't develop the tech for the platform, but we're looking to develop other additional technology to help improve our service. So we're looking at AI and machine learning. So I was interested. I was going to ask that question, but you answered it very in detail earlier.
Yeah, no problem, Trish. Actually, this just a quick follow up on that. Different program, they have different life cycle. These are another thing. I always suggest SME to check with different program people like as early as possible, because that's gonna affect your kind of pace on these technology development. So, for example, like our VIP program, it's a fiscal year program started from usually April, May, all the way to February and March. And the funding, once it's gone, it's gone. So it's a first in, first serve program. So now it's a really good time. But if we're all the way to January, February, we probably is kind of at the very end of the program. Probably majority of the funding is already being allocated. But like 5G program or next generation network, these are multi-year programs. So it's keep rolling into, I believe for 5G is 2022 March. So it's a different life cycle for different program. This is another important information that make sure you capture on your research sheet.
That's really great insight to know. Timing is everything.
Exactly.
Excellent. Alrighty, any final questions from the group that you want to ask in the public forum? All right, well, I, on behalf of everyone, do want to thank you so much, Feiran. I know that this for some is just sort of that first exposure to OCE, and it's just this, we're just scratching the surface today, and that's why I'm so grateful for the overview you provided. And you guys, you can see Feiran's email in the chat. Definitely get in touch with her and follow along, whether it's on their social media or whether it's through their website, see what's happening. Get involved. I don't know if you have a regular newsletter that goes out. I'm assuming probably there is. Probably the best way or the best advice I've heard today is be aware that there's an ecosystem, and that once you start talking to people with the ecosystem, it's not long before you meet that person that is exactly the person that you're supposed to be speaking with right now, and then kind of get an idea of who the other partners are. This is some of that behind the scenes information sharing I find that women entrepreneurs have not always had access to, and this is what the program is about, is to make sure that you know who to talk to lead you to that next step. And then let's share this information with others as well, of course, and let's make them aware of the programs and services OCE has. Thank you so much, Feiran. On behalf of all of us, I hope everyone has a fabulous day and enjoy some of the sunshine out there today.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to meet
everyone.
you. Yeah,
thank you.
Looking forward to follow up. Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thank you.